Yesterday, there were 3 teams still alive in the high school volleyball playoffs. Coming into today, we were down to 1. There was an exciting possibility of Andrews playing Monahans for the right to go to the state tournament, but the Lady Mustangs lost to Canyon. So it's the Monahans Lady Lobos taking on the Canyon Lady Eagles in the regional final in Lubbock. CBS 7, the only station to bring you these highlights. First game was a wild one. Monahans took an early 5-point lead when they scored 5 straight points. That included 3 Bailey Markham aces. Now, that's something you don't see every day. But midway through game 1, the Lady Lobos offense got stifled by Canyon. Lady Eagles took their first lead. Big Dana Stevenson gets up for the block. Then Lauren Veith makes the stop. The Canyon leads 16-15. Game point for Canyon at 24-23. But Heather Schultz is there for the block, and we need extras. But Canyon would not be denied in game 1. They take the opener 27-25. Lady Lobos were in an 0-2 hole, but came back to win the last 3, 16, 19, and 6. So Monahans is headed to San Marcos for the state tournament. Meanwhile, it was cross-country Saturday for teams and individuals that qualified, most notably out of West Texas. The Odessa High girls, Kermit boys, and defending state champion Big Spring boys were all competing. And here's how things shook out. In 4A, the Big Spring boys finished 3rd. Coming up short of back-to-back titles, Zach Dawson was the 3rd best overall runner in 4A for the 2nd straight year. And in 2A, the Kermit boys finished 4th, while Charles Bale finished 6th overall. As we've seen over the years, anything can happen when Texas and Texas Tech line up against each other. But one thing to note, the last few times the Red Raiders have beaten the Longhorns, Texas was ranked and Texas Tech was unranked. And that was the situation in Austin today. Number 5, Texas hosting unranked Texas Tech. Texas strikes first. Colt McCoy to the back of the end zone, and Jordan Shipley's got it. Touchdown, Horns lead 7-0. Now at 14-3, Texas gets his first taste of the end zone. Graham Harrell to Eric Morris, drags his feet, and Morris has his first touchdown of the year, cutting into the Texas lead. But the Horns wouldn't slow down. Up 21-10 in the second. Check out Jamal Charles. The ankle busting continues for the 3rd straight week. Charles is in for the touchdown. He had more than 160 rushing yards in the first half. But Tech comes right back down the field. It's Harrell. Great grab by Edward Britton. Touchdown Tech, and it was an 8-point lead for Texas at the half. In the second half, the Horns would not be denied, though. Specifically, Colton McCoy. Look at him busting tackles, spinning, staying on his feet, and getting in for the score to pad the Texas lead. And it was a shootout in Austin, but the Longhorns come away with the victory. 59-43 was the final score. The number 1 team in the country, Ohio State, hosting Illinois, and they were in trouble from the first quarter on. Juice Willis over the top to Jacob Willis. What a sweet catch, and we're all tied at 14. Then they take the lead before the half. Williams to a wide open Brian Gamble, and the Illini lead the number 1 team in the country at the Horseshoe, no less. Later on in the 3rd quarter, Ohio State in trouble again. Williams to Wilkins, touchdown, and Illinois goes on to shock the number 1 team in the country as another top 5 team falls. Illinois wins by the final of 28-21.
To the naked eye, a playbook can be confusing. To the dyslexic eye, it can be incomprehensible.
An estimated 50 million Americans suffer from dyslexia, and people from all walks of life have it. But we don't often hear about how football players have to deal with it on the field.
Enter Emil Carr. The Rebel running back's learning disability held back his football career when he was moved up to varsity.
We were trying to run the no-huddle, and Emil at that point was having a lot of problems with it.
Carr was relegated to a backup role on defense, but still ran for the scout team during practice. So when Lee's running backs left the team last month, Carr took the job and had an immediate impact.
First game against Abilene High, played pretty well, and then had a really good game against Odessa High. I think just every week he's gotten better and better.
A few changes by the coaches and some help from his quarterback allowed Carr to succeed in Lee's no-huddle offense this time around.
Obviously, he's gotten a lot more confidence and feels comfortable what he's doing.
The Lee Rebels were once in turmoil, without a district win and without players that had walked out. Now they've ridden Carr to the playoffs and exude the confidence of a dangerous team. This is Randy Britton, head coach of the Big Spring cross-country team.
Now do not go with those first 2. They're going too fast. Slow down a little bit.
He coaches from an old van that he's had almost as long as he's coached at Big Spring. which is 30 years. Last year, he brought home the state title in cross country, the school's first state championship. And he thinks this year they can repeat.
Well, there's no pressure on winning for us. We're the state champions.
And one of the reasons for his confidence is his top two runners, Zach Dawson and Jordan Valle. And while Dawson was the best runner last year, he's quick to give credit to his up-and-coming teammate for this year's improvements.
He came out here and he worked out harder than I did during the summer.
I just wanted to try to be #1 in the state.
And now the team has a confidence that no other can convey going into the state meet this weekend. Two dominant runners, already state champions.